Hey everyone, I'm Steven.
And I'm April. And this is your weekly dose of what's new, what matters, and what's changing in the world of ABA and ethical business leadership.
We're live every Monday to bring you the headlines, insight, and honest conversation you won't hear anywhere else.
And if you're catching this on Tuesday, welcome to the podcast version, where we turn real-time updates into lasting takeaways.
This is the ABA Business Leaders News Update, powered by 3Pi Squared. Do a sound check.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday morning. Today is August 11th. How is it August 11th?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know. What a day.
So, you want to just get into it?
Sure.
We are live on Facebook and YouTube right now, and we'll try to monitor the chats if we see anything.
All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to pull up the chat. Here we go. I'm on the ABA, monitoring the ABA Business Leaders group. We'll see what we can get from there.
Sounds good.
All right. Sorry for low energy this morning. We are just not bringing the energy today. It's not even it's early. Maybe we'll just get a few more cups of coffee at us or something. Mm-hmm. Who else? Like, I guess a lot of you guys are already heading back to school or already back in school. Some of you are at this like weird towards the end of the summer slump. I don't know. It's like, oh, the summer's never ending. At the same time, it's like the summer's going too fast. It's like this weird like position. But yeah, okay. Well, why don't we get into it? Let's see what news Steven pulled for us today. What states will we be talking about? Oh, California. California ends mandatory autism re-diagnosis for ABA therapy coverage. Okay. That sounds like it could be good news.
Yeah, we're starting with the good news and then the really bad news after that.
Okay. So California has passed AB 951, ending the long-standing requirement for individuals with autism to undergo repeated re-diagnoses to maintain ABA therapy coverage. Previously, families faced costly, time-consuming reassessments that often disrupted care. The new law removes this administrative burden, allowing uninterrupted therapy and reducing stress for families and providers alike. Advocacy groups and providers have welcomed the change, noting it aligns with best practices and supports consistent treatment without unnecessary barriers. I mean, one of the things that I always said when we had to do like the reassessment, and I was like, okay, well, autism is a lifelong developmental pervasive disorder. Like it didn't change. You don't not have autism once you have autism. Right. Now, your symptoms, you can learn skills, you can grow, you can change and all of that, but like autism's not going to go away. Right. And depending on what developmental stage you're in, like there's always new skills to learn. And that's part of autism is that you need help as you're growing and changing and learning to get to that next step. Yes. Right? Yes. So great for California. So did I say when it ends?
This goes into effect. It's on our article at news.3pisquared.com. It goes into effect January 1st. So
January 1st, 2026. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. So key points, it eliminates the requirement for ongoing re-diagnoses for continued ABA therapy coverage. So you still need that initial evaluation, that initial assessment to diagnose. Yeah. Yes. That is big, that it will help families to avoid those costly, time-consuming reassessments. Yeah. Not only costly, but like the waiting lists,
Correct.
right? And so maybe if there are, not the need for so many like reassessments, what was it, like every 3 years or something?
Yeah, depending on the insurance, right?
Maybe that will help reduce some of the backlog and get the initial assessments, diagnoses, like get going a little bit quicker.
Totally.
And then the providers can focus more on that therapy delivery instead of navigating unnecessary paperwork. So the change was driven by advocacy from autism organizations and community leaders. Good job.
Yeah, I think
like, way to go.
I think CASP had a hand in this from what I understand. So great job, CASP.
Way to go. Yes. Now let's start. What state's next? And the law supports long-term treatment, consistency, and access. And that's what we're going for. That's quality care, right? So recommendations for you guys. So if you're a business owner, don't know why you would be listening to this podcast if you weren't at least a leader.
Maybe they just enjoy listening to us talk.
Okay. Well, then how can you support this? So update intake and reauthorization processes to remove re-diagnosis requirements. Starting in January, if you're in California. Inform families immediately to reduce their anxiety and confusion. Yeah, I mean, like, spread the word and let them know what this means for them. Review payer policies to ensure they align with the new law. Just because California says it,
yes,
you still got to check in with all your payers.
And I believe it applies to even out of state insurance policies. So let's say, you have a remote job and insurance is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas and you live in California. I believe the law still applies to you, but check with all of your payers. I would start checking now because I assume that it's going to take some time for them to implement and they're going to go, oops, my bad. Yeah, this is the new law, right? So just checking, okay, who do I talk to when this new law goes in place? How do I avoid this if it gets denied or pushed back, right? Like, who am I supposed to talk to? Just so that you have everything in place. Because, I mean, it's just when anything like this happens, it's going to take some time for a large organization like health insurance providers or health insurance carriers to keep up with that, right?
Yeah, definitely. And then congratulations, you have a little freed up administrative time.
Seriously.
So you can use that to enhance service quality and client support. Monitor, as we said, for any payer specific policy updates or implementation delays. Start talking to the payers now. Say, hey guys, AB 951 has passed. How are we? What are your plans?
Right.
When is our agreement going to be updated?
And the links to the legislation are in the article. So I would even copy that, right? Because they're going to go, what, AB 9, right. What is that? Yeah. So just add the link to the email that you send to your network reps. So that, and then they'll say, well, oh, I can't, whatever. Anyway, so I that would be good. Copy and paste the law, what it means, all that stuff, right? Just so that, that you can talk to them. And then, like April's already said, just share it with your families. Maybe somebody knows they have a diagnosis coming up soon, right? A re-diagnosis coming up soon. And, maybe it's, January 5th. And maybe they can avoid that, right? I don't know. We'll see as we get closer.
Yeah. And I'm also excited or interested both to know how it goes for you guys in California in the beginning of the year as these changes start rolling out. Would love to hear from you all. So let us know.
Okay. All right. So the next one.
All right. So this isn't about any specific state, huh?
It is.
So, it is.
Yeah. So the article goes in. It's, I believe, let me see. I'm going to slide my screen up.
As Stephen looks up the article to remind himself of these states. So are there multiple states?
It's just one.
One.
Yeah, in particular. I feel like it was Indiana. I purposely
Okay.
left out the person's name and the company name that he was associated with.
Okay. Well, check the article to find the state. I just said that because normally, like,
Pretty sure
the state's in the title,
I'm pretty
right?
sure it's Indiana. Yeah, I'm pretty
All right.
sure
So safeguards in ABA, why in-home protections cannot be overlooked. So strong safeguards in ABA services, such as cameras in therapy areas, clear boundaries, and documented privacy protocols are essential to protecting clients, staff, and service integrity, especially in in-home settings where oversight is limited. When privacy and safety measures aren't balanced, risks can escalate for all involved. By combining transparent policies with client-specific protections, providers can uphold ethical standards, prevent harm, and maintain trust with families and staff.
So I'm just going to scroll to the article because, like, this person claims that he never abused any of the children that he worked with.
Okay.
But he was caught with 140, I guess, images or videos on his phone, and apparently he was paying a nanny to abuse children and record it for him. And then he was caught with this stuff. But when apparently he admitted it. So the thing that really, like, it was very disturbing to me was his response, apparently, was he didn't abuse the children that he worked with because there were too many safeguards in place. Not because that would be a horrible thing to do and why would you abuse children? That's evil and terrible. No, I would get caught if I did it, was his response. So, like, he has no, from what I understand, he has no convictions. He has no record of this before. So I assume his background check came back fine. And, here we are. The only reason he didn't do it, if that's true, which I hope it is, because the safeguards were in place.
Right. It's disgusting and gross, and no one wants to be having this conversation. Yes. But the fact that at least the kids for the were safe. The kids in the company.
Kudos to this company
because they had safeguards in place.
Yeah, if this is actually, if he is telling the truth, right? I don't know how much trust you can put in someone that does this kind of thing, but still, right? Like, hopefully that is true.
So, and this is why we have our safeguards. We hope, like Pollyanna World, that every staff member that we hire is going to be amazing and wonderful and safe. Yes. But we can't guarantee that. And right. So safeguards like cameras, boundaries, privacy policies protect client, staff, and the service provider. Because also too, we need to protect our staff as well. Because I know this isn't the situation in this particular story, but sometimes, staff can get accused and they have done nothing wrong. So it's just best for everyone involved. Right. In-home ABA poses unique oversight challenges compared to the clinic setting. I don't know if we talk about it in the recommendations down here, but that was one of the reasons why we never allowed in-home services to happen if there wasn't an adult present in the home. But that being said, that's not enough safeguard. Just,
No.
Having therapy in the main area, having even a baby monitor that the mom can, or the dad or the caregiver, babysitter, whomever can have access to be able to not be a disruption to services for certain, because sometimes that can happen, right? We want to have a more, less distraction in the room, right? But how can that caregiver be able to have direct access to what's going on for safety? And if for any of you parents who are listening, absolutely 100% do everything that you can to talk to your providers, to set up things in a way that you feel safe
I mean,
with.
this really has to be a team approach,
It
right?
is a
And
team approach.
it honestly isn't about trusting anyone. It's like, this is my responsibility to protect this child. And so I'm going to do my job, right? And, you know, as I said in the article, like, for a camera in the therapy area, like, I would do that myself, right? This isn't, it wouldn't matter who was coming. I would be doing that. Even if it's just to see, you know, oh, I'm really struggling with playing or doing this thing with my child. I want to see how they did it, right? And maybe I can take some feedback from them, right? And seeing it versus somebody telling me how they do it is very different. So I think even just from that circumstance, like, it would be fine to have a camera in there. So, you know, and that not even talking about the abuse thing, but plus the abuse thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So more of the key points about, like, we are just saying, balanced policies, respect privacy while maintaining safety. And a proactive approach builds trust and prevents harm. That's that teamwork, right?
Yep.
And communication.
Yep.
And training and advocacy skills empower clients and families to uphold their own safety. Also, you know, sometimes there's abuse and neglect in the home, right? And so, not just having that mandated reporter as part of the onboarding just to check a box, but really to learn to know how to pick up on some of these cues.
Yes.
To protect everyone. So recommendations, what can you do? We've already discussed a few of them. But install and maintain recording equipment in common therapy areas with clear use policies. You can reach out to us, or you can look back. I don't know which podcast it is, but we talk about camera use because there are specific things that you need to have in place.
Right. Not for the parents, obviously follow your laws and your state parents, but most states, from what I understand, you can record in your home, and that's not going to be a problem. Now we're talking about the company.
Yes. So create privacy protocols for older children while addressing potential safety risks. That's a good one, you know, because what it looks like for a 4-year-old and what it looks like for a 14-year-old is going to be different.
Some of these things that they might be working on, they don't want their parents to know about, right? Like, at least they don't want it openly discussed with their parents, right? And they want some privacy. So I totally get that. How do we set this up so it works for everybody? Because like, the other issue that you have here is, we've talked about this a million times, but the turnover rate, especially on the tech side of things, is like, it's insane, right? So like, I think the average is 65%, right? So like, there's a lot of churn here. And so things are going to get missed. Background checks may not come back the way that you want them to. You know, it's just, so making sure that you have these things in place. How are we going to do this? How are we going to provide that kind of balance of safety and privacy? It's really important, and I think it has to be custom for every family, you know. And then, sorry, you go ahead and finish it, and then one thing that I don't feel like was addressed as well as it should have been is missing. So just go ahead.
So I can't remember if I said this. Well, we said this, but I don't know if I read this bullet for recommendations. But train staff and families on recognizing and addressing unsafe situations. Regularly review and update safeguard policies to adapt to new risks. Same thing, like ongoing training, not a box to check off at intake for either family or staff. Ongoing training. How do we make sure we don't drift and we don't lose sight of some of these things? How do we check back in with this on a regular basis? Foster a culture where safety concerns are reported and addressed without fear. This is really big. We're talking about safety, but there's safety on multiple levels. And part of that is the safety to be able to communicate freely, which, let's face it, is not a thing where people feel safe doing regularly.
And then the only thing missing from this is, and it's like key points, training and advocacy skills. And so, maybe the abuse isn't in the home with ABA therapy. Maybe it's when they go to the mommy and me thing, or maybe it's when they go to a camp, or right. And so teaching the child how to say no and how to say this is uncomfortable in whatever way that they can, teaching the child so that they can tell the parents when something, right, I think is just so important, right? And a lot of, at least previous ABA programming was, we're going to teach the no out of you. You're going to do it no matter what. You know what I mean? Obviously, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So
teaching those advocacy skills,
I think is important.
Are important. Should definitely have a place in regular programming as appropriate for the learner. For sure. Yucky. I don't like having to discuss these things, but I'm glad that we are discussing them. And I hope that it makes it a little bit easier to discuss these things with your team. Discuss them here within our groups, right? Just in general, how can we, what do you have in place? What safeguards do you have in place? How do you, keep up with this on a regular basis so that you don't lose sight of it?
Yeah. It seems it is extremely difficult. And I mean, again, kudos to this company having safeguards in place, even considering this. I think a lot of ABA companies go into this well-meaning, great intentions, assuming they're going to hire great people. The background check came back fine. I know there was another, and kind of ended here, and then, we would love your feedback. Anyone that has, better ideas than this, I want to hear them. But there was one company, I don't remember what state it was, but this person said he got this job because he knew he could do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, what in the world is going on, right? Like, so I don't mean to scare anyone, but we have to take this seriously.
Yeah, for sure. So. We do. And if you need any help, if you need someone to talk out loud through this with, we're here. And I feel like, we have some pretty safe communities within our groups. And so reach out. You're not alone. We're not alone in this. Like it's a team effort on multiple levels, right? So as a community, as a whole, we can all work together to support each other. And as I say often, reach out to those other individuals, those other ABA businesses, ABA practitioners, clinicians in your town, and pull together and discuss these things and see how you can help each other. Yeah. If nothing else, sometimes just sharing your feelings over coffee can be a great start. So, all right. Well, that's news for today. We will see you again next week.
Bye-bye. Don't miss an update. Sign up for weekly alerts at news.3pisquared.com. It's the easiest way to stay informed and ahead.
If you found this helpful, please rate, review, and share the podcast. It helps us reach more people who care about ethical, sustainable ABA.
We'll see you next Monday live or Tuesday right here on the podcast. We're April and Steven, and this is ABA Business Leaders News Update.